Hey, how's it going? It's Tim Brown, and this is the Hook Better Leads podcast. And today I have Michael Gogan with me from CompanyCam. How you doing, Mike?
Doing well, Tim. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We are talking about how to create better communication and documentation processes in roofing. But a big question is, are you utilizing CompanyCam to its fullest extent? You know, I was just talking to a roofer this morning and he said, I wish CompanyCam, because I said, hey, I'm about to talk to Michael Gogan from CompanyCam. And he said, I wish they had this feature. I just talked to Michael and he said, we've got that feature. It's coming down the chute. We've already started rolling it out. And it's really cool, some of the new features you got going on. And why are you guys so in tune with roofing? Why do you guys have such a good reputation? It's hard to get a good reputation as a software in the roofing industry. So how have you guys achieved that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, couple like angles I could take there. Number one, we're, founded by a local roofing company here in Lincoln, Nebraska. And so, the problems that we're solving for that particular roofing company, they're not just specific to that company. They're, broad problems that all roofing contractors are having to overcome. And so we're solving that such a broad problem for these contractors. Number one, hey, we know the roofing space. We are built by a roofing company, and we have now figured out these problems that we have to solve. I think the second piece of that is we've always strived to be very lightweight and easy to use. I hear it used in our office all the time. We want to be an out-of-the-box solution to where you can pick up the app, you can download it, and within a matter of hours, you can at least be up and running on it. And then, hopefully our conversation today can open some of these contractors' eyes to the immense power of CompanyCam, but you can be up and running instantly with CompanyCam, and it can be saving you time.
Yeah, and basically the roofers that I know that use it really like it and feel like it's a lot of value for the price. So we're going to just briefly go over the basics of it. So if somebody is not using it, that they understand the key pieces, the main value proposition, and then we're going to go much deeper, and you should be using these other features that we're going to be talking about. But you said the problem is that if they're taking photos of jobs, it takes multiple steps from capture to send, upload photos, and storing photos as a single source of truth. So that's really the underlying value here. Can you dive real quick, just like 1 or 2 minutes on the basic underlying value and the basic functions of the app?
Yeah, absolutely. So first and foremost, app on your smart device, phone, tablet, also has a web version. Essentially, the problem we're solving is that documentation and communication problem. It's not a new thing that contractors know they need to be taking photos, videos, notes of their job sites. But the kind of the roadblock that they would run into is I'm sending my sales rep out to inspect a property, taking pictures on his device, camera, whatever. And prior to CompanyCam, he would have to take those photos and either text them, email them, upload them back at the office, some step after the capture piece that says, hey, these now are where they need to be so that other people could access them. And essentially that was a time barrier for a lot of these contractors. They go and inspect the roof, it's hot, they're sweaty, they're going to take the bare minimum now because they know when they get off the roof, they have to do this next step. And we really said, how do we eliminate that step for them? And so we utilize GPS in all of these smart devices. And so now as soon as you capture the photo or the video, or you take that note, it's automatically sent to the cloud, sorted by that location. And then what's great is everyone in my company now has visual access to that, as opposed to 6 clicks deep into folder systems and Dropbox where it's like, it's in there. You got to click into this city code and then this type of project. It's like we have everything visual front facing so that it's really easy for whoever's coming next to see what's going on at that project.
Well, I just want to put it on Google Drive and then, it's time for my people, but that's not a big deal. What about that guy? What is the real competition here? Like
I mean,
texting photos to each other? Like
yeah,
what do you,
absolutely.
I mean, I know that most of the contractors out here aren't thinking this way, but like, I'm just trying to save a little money by not using something like this. Like, what do you say to that person?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is like I don't look at myself as a true salesman. I love helping contractors solve problems,
Yeah.
help become more efficient in their business. And honestly, if you just go and break down, like, we charge $19 a month per user,
Yeah.
and you just say like, hey, will this save you 15 minutes? And that's an extremely conservative amount of
Yeah.
time. 15 minutes a day in photo handling,
Yeah.
video handling, uploading, whatever. And they're all gonna be like, oh yeah, yeah. You just multiply that out by the 20 days that they're working, and it's now a no-brainer to take that added efficiency, and it vastly outweighs the cost. But then the big like areas that are like, hey, well, what about that driveway that you guys didn't crack, but Mrs. Jones didn't notice the crack until after your roll-off was there? And John has the photo, you're pretty sure, on his phone, but maybe he's not with your company anymore. Maybe he lost the phone, whatever. Like, you start adding some of those things in there, and it's now like, okay, yeah, the 15 minutes is great, but that $2,000 driveway that I don't have to replace, that's going to pay for CompanyCam for the year for my company. So just lots of little things there.
Yes.
I love the people that are using Drive, Dropbox. I've heard of contractors using Slack for their photo and video documentation. And while you can do it, I love the fact that you're already, the value of having your documentation organized. We're just going to try to help you make that even more efficient, more usable.
Man, just retrofitting and popsicling stuff together. It's like, why not just pay for the real deal and get this done? You're not going to sell it, but also, I mean, no, that's all really good stuff. Okay, so let's get into the deeper dive. For those of you that are already using this, the value. Checklists. That was the thing that I talked to our client about this morning. So talk to me about checklists. What do you guys have going on, and what's going to be going on soon regarding checklists? Because particularly, let's say, around the inspection.
Yep, absolutely. So we already have a version of lists built. What we found when we started building these, Tim, is there's a million different things you can call like that list thing. I can call it a checklist. I can call it a punch list, a to-do list. Some people just call it my inspection guide that kind of takes me through the past. So there's all sorts of different things there. But basically what we have right now is the ability for you to, in your business, create a new to-do list. And I would say these are probably more on the like quality control, quality assurance end of things in their current state, where I can go in and say, this, gutter still needs added. We needed this. Here's some cleanup that still needs done. And then you can have that, and then somebody.
So the quality control side, and my thing is like, that's a really easy thing to market. So maybe that's why I love CompanyCam, because there's a lot of things that like overlap into marketing. I love when a company has checklists, quality control checklists in place. We generally work with contractors that are 2 million to 10 million, or, somewhere in there a lot of times. So they're usually on the better side of contractors because they're growing, and it just tends to weed out the people that don't have these processes in place a little bit sometimes. But if you have an inspection, a very clear quality control inspection list, and you could brand it, you could call it whatever your name is, like Eagle Roofing Way, like you could brand this idea and then promote it on the homepage of your website, that we have a quality control checklist system that we put in place for every single thing. And then it can just be CompanyCam checklists on the back end that you're going to take photo, so there's opportunities to market directly into what you're already doing if you start to use these checklists. And it does sell deals. It sells more deals when you have quality control in place. So I want to get better communication and documentation, not only internally at the company, but for your customers. And then I want us to market that. Now, I don't want to market it before it exists, but I want to encourage more people to make it exist first so that we can market it. Yeah.
Yep. And honestly, Tim, it exists in a way, like I'm even thinking on the front, like we'll just kind of take this from the beginning to the end of the job. And I'm sitting at the table with Mrs. Jones. Like I probably have already done my initial inspection. We can have a template for that. That's like, here's our 25-point initial inspection. Here are all the photos that go into this. These are the things we're looking at. That takes my inspection and adds such a level of professionalism that I've probably already got a leg up on my competition. And then now as I'm going through it, maybe I'm selling Atlas or GAF or Owens Corning, or maybe I'm siding, windows, whatever product I'm selling, I have probably some sort of warranty. And I can say, hey, we also are going to do this installation checklist. And in doing that, that's going to hit the GAF Golden Pledge warranty that you're going to be able to have on this roof. So not only are you going to have the warranty, you're going to have our Golden Pledge checklist showing that we installed this roof to manufacturer specification.
Yes.
And then at the end, you're going to have just a property quality assurance checklist that makes sure that we leave your property looking better than when we got here. Cleaning, all these things. So like there, I just used 3 examples of templated lists that I can use in my sales pitch to hopefully give me a leg up on my competition. You know, if I'm talking about this Golden Pledge inspection or installation checklist that I'm doing, and they're getting another quote and they're like, oh, you're doing the same kind of shingles. Do you guys do the inspection checklist and send that over to me? We don't know what you're talking about. Like, we never heard of that. Like, you know, so it gets you that leg up on your competition and really adds professionalism with simple things. It's not like you have to make these over and over and over again. You can create the template and use just that one template every time. And we're working directly with manufacturers. So if you're a manufacturer, we want to talk to you because we want to build whatever list these manufacturers have. We want to build it in the app so that their contractors can use them and access them.
I love that, man. And how big of a value proposition is that for them to have that documentation? So I love that. Another problem, hey, that we've got as far as communicating to the outside world as a contractor is showing recent work on the website. So how are you guys tackling that as CompanyCam? Because, you know, like, hey, maybe Hook agency websites are pretty easy to log in and add some photos, but not every website is. And I would argue to say like a lot of contractors don't have their WordPress login or whatever. What do you guys got going on related to that?
Yeah, well, I can tell you most don't have their WordPress login. And the reason I can tell you that is we've got a new feature that's we call it the Showcase Widget. I know you've installed it for some of your clients already, but essentially it's this carousel of jobs that just sits in your web page. So it looks like it's in there seamlessly. But what's amazing is instead of having to have your WordPress log in, try to upload photos, add new folders, those kind of things, I can publish straight from my CompanyCam account. So now we've done a project that's really good. You use the line of, you know, show what you want to sell. And so like,
yeah,
I just did this, you know, upgraded paint and coatings is my favorite for this. Like I just did this upgraded non-scuff paint down in this family's basement, their family room. And I can go and show the photos. I can list, you know, what types of materials we used. I can put a little description. I use the example of my own house. I've got a 6 and a 9-year-old boy. And man, if I'm shopping to get new paint and I see that you use this, you know, Sherwin-Williams high scuff resistant paint or whatever, and you tell me like we use this because they have kids and blah blah blah, I'm like calling you up and I'm like, Tim, I need that like no scuff ever paint, and that might be your highest price point, biggest upsell, and I just sold myself into it because that's what I need. Versus if you came to my house and you're like, I'm like, oh, what's kind of in the middle of the road? It's this one. We do have this other one. And I'm just like, no, you're just trying to sell me. I want the middle of the road. It'll be fine for what we need. You know, and so they can really leverage this Showcase widget to not just show like, hey, this is our work, but tell about the work and what went into it and why the products that were used were the right products, those kind of things.
It looks good too. I'll say that. It's like, I'm a sucker for design, good design. It looks good on websites. It looks like it belongs on a Hook agency website, which I like. We have higher end websites than some people. And I like you guys like Sumo Quote. They have great design and a couple of these other companies that just pride themselves on good design. It's hard to say a CRM without scaring somebody off because everyone's had there's at least like 2 contractors that are always going to have had a bad experience with any particular CRM, but I like a great design. I like just a couple other ones I like Hail Trace. I like some of these people that care about design, like in their marketing too. So I just always get excited when we get to collaborate with somebody. What else, before we wrap up here, what are some other features that are kind of in the cooker right now for CompanyCam? Just looking forward, maybe people will be listening to this in 6 to 9 months, but the majority of people will be watching and listening in the next couple of months. What can they look forward to that you guys are working on now?
Yeah. So we've got we're constantly rolling out new integrations. And, one of the things that I think we're going to focus on, we're obviously going to have new features, but one of the big things that we're focusing on is, maximizing our existing features. We really want to take like that Showcase widget and we really want to pour gasoline on that, make that something that's even better than where it's already at now. Same thing with those reports. We want to really pour the gas on those. I'm going to give you a feature that I think's probably going to be a game changer. It's already out. It's just new, and it's new enough that it's probably not a game changer for many, but it's project collaboration. And essentially what we've been able or allowed contractors to do is, if I'm the roofer on a job, but I need to sub out windows or gutters or siding or whatever, it's nearly impossible to get photos from those subcontractors. If it's hard having your own employees get you photos, it's really hard having subcontractors get you photos. And what we've allowed you to do is add that subcontractor directly to that CompanyCam project. They can use CompanyCam as if they were in your company, but only on that project you've added them to. And I think that it's so new, and we're just getting into where we're starting to, put new processes in place for 2022. Starting to hopefully get warmer here, February, March. We're going to start seeing storms, start roofing. That truly, I think, is going to be game changer, no matter the trade you're in. But I just think roofing, I'm a roofer, hailstorm rolls through. I've got 10 jobs I just inspected. Do I need to have a supplementing company or a public adjuster looking at these right away? Now I can just add them right to that project. They can go out and add photos themselves. I can send it to my subs. Just really, again, back to that efficiency thing. It just really streamlines everything, gets all the stakeholders in one place so that they can focus on that. And so that's called collaboration. It already exists, but I think it'll be a really powerful thing for us.
Awesome. I mean, what I like about it is not just each individual feature that you guys add, but it's really the mindset and you guys are in it with the other users of CompanyCam as a user of CompanyCam. And I think that just makes it really powerful because I think people can trust that you guys are going to continue to innovate in this direction. And I really love that. It's exciting to me.
Yeah, no, I love how you put that, because that is so important for us, is that, we want to continue to innovate. And ultimately, I think I'm speaking for the whole company. We're very proud of the product that we have, and we're this source of truth and transparency in the field. And people, for the most part, love our tool. And if we can continue to make the existing features better, more powerful, easier to use, that's only going to help everybody involved.
I love it. Well, I don't think 10 years ago contractors were utilizing any kind of something as clean and as simple to use as this. So I think hey, I applaud the innovation that's happened so far, and it's cool that you guys are working on it and making it even better. I will note that if people are asking about marketing, Michael, Hook Agency is going to promote your guys' thing quite a lot when we're putting out websites. And every contractor I'm asking now, we ask in our discovery with them, do you have CompanyCam? Like it's a line item on our discovery. So we are excited when they say yes to integrate the gallery feature. What is it called again?
Showcase.
Yep. So we're always excited to integrate that. And it's part of our process. So you guys are part of our process. And if people are asking about marketing, just we're one of the good agencies to refer stuff to. So
absolutely. Well, Tim, I appreciate you having us. Apologies if this kind of came off a little salesy. We dove into the product pretty deep, and I'm passionate about it, but it wasn't intended to. And kind of proof of that is you and I need to chat, and I'll get you with our team, because we want to make sure that, if there is somebody out there that's, using Hook Agency for their marketing, we will make sure that the, Showcase gets uploaded. We'll make sure we get you a nice intro deal. Like, we can do some stuff there. So we don't have anything in place right now, but the conversation led us here. So be looking for that. We can make an announcement at a later time on that.
I love it, man. And where should somebody who, I'm guessing people that have watched this far are using CompanyCam, but what's the .com?
Yeah, CompanyCam.com. If you come through that, tell them you heard about us through the Hook Agency. And I will make sure that if you let them know that you heard about us through the Hook Agency, I'll get you some sort of promo entry code so that you get them a deal on the front end.
Cool. And if I get that, I'll just pop it below the video in the podcast as well, so you can use that code. And thank you guys so much for listening or watching the podcast on YouTube. And I hope that you guys have a great day. It's the Hook Better Leads podcast and hookagency.com.